We're talking about the opposition and the squares to the midheavens. So, what is the op? The op is the enemy. The op is against something. So we know the squares is the hard times, the struggles that you go through. It's a square. It got you on lock. It get you fixed in this thoughts. So it's what you suffer with. It's your fears. And so we got sun square to midheavens or opposing midheavens, which is the opposition to midheavens. Whew. We know the sun is happy. The sun is lovely. The sun is cheerful. The sun love to have fun. The sun is very creative, very expressive, very free-hearted, very giving, very want to inspire you and motivate you. So we got square right here. This makes it hard for the sun to achieve its goal, whatever its goal is. It makes the sun hard when dealing with careers, hard to be creative, hard to be in the limelight, hard to get along with even kids. You know what I'm saying? Because the sun usually love kids and everything else. But right here, the sun struggle with their kids, struggle with kids in general, or struggle as a kid. So right here, we're talking about the opposition. When the sun opposes midheaven, the sun is against its career. It's against. It can be against having fun, against young kids, against shining, being in the spotlight, against it. So it could be against achieving this goal. These people can be very poor, very struggling, they just want to live on a lower level. They can be very dangerous too, because they don't want to shine, so they want to take somebody else shine. Or they can hate against other people that shine, or they can want approval right here. So you got squares, sun square the midheavens. They can struggle with people and want approval when dealing with people. So they can really suffer and have low self-esteem right here, because these people intuition all speak to them, but they can know it and listen to more of their logical mind and their thinking on a lower level, and don't have enough confidence. So right here, they might don't have enough confidence, enough strength, no matter if it's square or opposition, because it's sort of alike anyway. See what I'm saying? You got one that will struggle, have a hard time with it. You got opposition that's against this, or opposes the midheavens. It opposes its careers, what it's into. So it can suffer. But right here, how the sun will win when it comes into balance with the squares of opposition. When it comes to balance, it becomes one with it, and don't fear it or don't oppose it, but become one with it. And this how the sun win right here. We got sun square opposition to midheavens. Now, when you got moon opposing a square midheavens, what you got to understand that the moon is about emotions. It's very psychic, very intuitive, very nurturing, very motherly, very loving woman's the female nature. This is like the home lovers, the homebodies. They take care of their kids. They take care of people, and they're very caring, very loving. They can worry a lot. So right here, since it's deal with emotions, since they're very sensitive to what you say, the squares make these people very dangerous right here in oppositions, because they can struggle. When you got square, we got emotions of square midheaven. They can struggle with emotions, struggle with their kids, struggle with other females, struggles with their family, because the moon deal with family too. They can struggle with their home life, struggle to be comfortable wherever they at. See what I'm saying? They can go through so much. They can pose their midheavens, whatever their midheavens is. They can pose it. Oppose trying to achieve, oppose their careers. So this deal with the ops. So the ops is against it. So I'm saying, so they feel like this is the midheavens is their enemy. They feel like it's dangerous. They can feel like they feel paranoid when it comes to their objective. So we got the moon right here, square opposition. This is how they feel. It's on the downside. So it's like these people here, they could fear showing people their emotions and appear very cold right here, especially with oppositions. Square, they would struggle with it. They would struggle with emotions. They would be very snappish. snap on you and things like that. They will snap on you. So both of the squares of opposition got some of the same type of energy when talking about, because it's the hard aspects. And so the moon right here, these people could be very dangerous. They, out of nowhere, they could just snap. They have mood swings out of nowhere, and because they're very sensitive, very emotional. Everything you say, they can click and snap. You know what I mean? They can think you all talking about and be very defensive, because the moon is very defensive. So right here, they can always want to defend themselves. So just like you got the sun square opposition, they can fear taking leadership positions and want to be in the background. The moon right here, they usually follow us. They could be the ones who be very selfish and really think they are the rulers and think they are it. So now, when you got the sun, not the sun, when you got, it's Venus now. No, not Venus. I'm gonna start with Mercury. We got Mercury opposing the square to the midheavens. Mercury is the thinker. Mercury is the one who got the youthful appearance, very fast moving, love to travel, love to stay on the go. Not only on the go with their physical presence, but on the go with their mind. They always seeking knowledge, always seeking information. These information lovers, and always picking up on details, the smallest details to the biggest. But they always picking up on details all around, because they deal with the mind strictly. They deal with how they think that really matter. It's all about their concepts. It's all about what you say, all about your thoughts. They want to hear your thoughts, his thoughts. They want to be into your mind and his mind and her mind and everybody's mind. So they deal with the mind. They deal with counseling. They deal with expression. So they love when you express yourself. They love when you communicate, because they deal with communication. So these are your good speakers, and they into lingo. They into language. So we got squares here. They can have a hard time with all this. They can have a hard time expressing themselves. A hard time thinking. So they could be very impulsive right here. Impulsive. And they can have, like, if it's opposition, they could oppose, always thinking, and just do things out of nowhere. Sometimes talk without thinking, like that there. So this is what it deals with. And they can have hard times with their childhood siblings and people who they grew up with, far as like brothers and sisters, and oppose their brothers and sisters and be against their brothers and sisters, all speak negative. So they can have a very demonic spirit and trick people and play mind games right here. They can be good at mind games and tricking people and manipulating people out of what they want right here. So this placement here, this what this deals with. You know what I mean? So we talk about Mercury square to midheaven. This what they would struggle with. This what they would go through. You know what I'm saying? Until they master this placement. If Mercury opposition midheaven, this is what they're against. I mean, they're against speaking all the time, so they can be very silent, very quiet. They can be against thinking so much and be very impulsive and just go with their first mind, just go without thinking it out, without calculating. Because Mercury is a planner. Mercury is the thinker. Have all the details, so they can be against the details. They can be against writing, against speaking and writing and singing and dancing and being creative, because this is a very creative placement. So they can have a hard time being creative, because they might start on something and can't finish it right here. So these type of people stay on the go and can't settle down and don't have no patience. Now, we got Venus opposing midheaven, or Venus square to midheavens. First of all, Venus is the type that's all about love. Venus is what you love, is what you value, and it's about love and about connecting with people, relationships. It's about business, connecting with business partners, deal with relating to people, places, and things. So right here, Venus is the good life. So you got square opposition. These people are against the good life. They're very serious acting. So they can be against love. They can go through things where they don't want to be in love until they can turn that love to hate against others. Right here. So we got Venus square. This is what they struggle with. This is what they will go through till they master it. Then they'd be the best lover. So you got Venus opposition right here to midheavens. They oppose love. They oppose being in partnership. They oppose being having a business partner. They can be very selfish right here. So Venus is always about connection, all about unity. But these people can oppose being in unity, can be all to themselves and love being to themselves, love to be introverted. And love is themselves. See what I'm saying? Love is about what they can do, not about what others can do. And as long as they feel good, so they can abuse drugs and alcohol right here. and that could be their love. Whatever they into, whatever they value, it'll be on a lower level. See what I'm saying? Until they accomplish this, until they master this placement. So when they master this placement, they can show people what true love is, because this is very empath placement. These people can be like psychic empaths, where they can feel your emotion, can read your emotion, read what you go through. They know what you go through. So they can very much be your psychic readers and read your energy. Right here, it's about what they feel. You know what I'm saying? Also, they know your emotions. They know how to help you get over your emotions. This only when they master this placement. So right here, they will go through things that deal with love, and that love will turn to hate until they master it. When they master it, they'll learn to love themselves so they can love others. They'll learn that love is within themselves. They'll learn to be very spiritual. So right here, this deal with love. So they will go through relationships where a lot of breakups, a lot of hatred, where other people would hate them, a lot of people just like them and stuff like that. They will go through things like that until they master themselves. They will go through things where maybe their family don't love them, or their mother don't love them, or their child don't love them, somebody don't love them, or they feel like they don't love them, or they feel like people don't love them, but really they really against themselves because it's opposition's here, or they really struggle with themselves because the square is here. So once they love themselves, they'll see how others love them. So they're here to be an example of love right here. So their careers, this could affect their careers right here, because these people might don't want to do nothing. They might be very lazy and don't want to be responsible when dealing with their midheavens of their careers right here. But when they master it, they midheavens be all about love, be all about excitement, all about joy, all about good life. So whatever they get into, they will have satisfaction and spread love, to deal with socialization, to deal with connecting with people, being a great counselor, great advisors like that there. So this is what this deals with. Now, when we got Mars, we're going Mars now. Mars square midheavens or opposing midheavens. We talking about what Mars is. Mars all about war. Mars all about action. Mars is the life force. It's all about excitement. It's all about sex. So it's all about enjoyment, all about fun loving, all about doing what it want to do. Mars like to be selfish because like to be all about it. Mars say, I am it, not you. Mars is very is a person who can strategize when it comes to competing against somebody. So they're about competition. So Mars is all about accomplishments, and they're go-getters. So with this placement here, when we say Mars placement, we talking about people who enjoy going to combat or war with you, and mentally, physically, emotionally, or spiritually, whatever realm. But these people here are the ones who love people, and they will do anything for you. They'll go get it. They can be loyal to and dedicated to that one, as long as you're not interested in other people, because they want to be number one all the time. They are the winners. So now, when you got Mars square or opposed in midheavens, you talking about people who can be very, very dangerous, and very destructive, and very, very like fighters. Always fighting, always getting to stuff, always starting drama. So this is what we talking about right here. And talking about their careers, they can be against their careers and do what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? They want to do what they want to do what they want to do, and they can live very low life with an animal behavior, and they can live to the lowest level right here, and they don't care. And these people can be very strong and very aggressive. And sex, they can have sex with everybody. You know, I'm talking about like it's like they do what they want to do right here. So this is very aggressive placement. And if you outbeat them or something, they can want to fight you, and they can be play very dirty right here, be very nasty, very cruel right here. So when you got Mars right here, these individuals are super creative. They can use their creative talents to go against you. See what I'm saying? So right here, they got a quick anger problem. These people always snap, and they always want to fight. They always. So we talking Mars square, they will struggle with this. They will go through it, all the fighting, all the pain, or somebody else want to fight them, vice versa. So we got opposition. These people, they don't play no games. They go hard against the ops anyway. So the midheavens is anybody that beat them out. They don't like that. So they go to war to play dirty tactics, dirty games, and they go to any length to accomplish their objective. They get very ruthless, very dangerous, and it's no limit right here. So now, when they master this placement, these will be your great leaders right here, your strongest leaders, your strongest managers, your good event planners, your great counselor, your great guys, and they can show you how to become a leader, your own leader. They be very good uplifters who uplift you, inspire you, and very fun loving. Because these people are very fun loving. We talking about Mars energy. So once you master this placement, you become the fun love, the good side of it, the cheerful, happiness, confident, or bold. So with squares of opposition, you can lack confidence. You could lack being bold. You know what I'm saying? And let people run all over you and stuff like that. Also, so right here, it can go even that far. So now, also when you master this placement, you don't have to worry about you being all in your anger all the time. See what I'm saying? Because people fall in and out of love easily. You know what I mean? And like they could just want to have partners just for sex like that there. So with this placement here, when you master it, you'll know how to preserve your sex. You'll know how to operate, how to move. Now, when you got Jupiter right here, and also Mars placement, before I speak on Jupiter, Mars placements are very intuitive, the intuition on point when it's talking about knowing how to move in life. So we got now Jupiter. You got Jupiter trying or not trying. We got Jupiter opposing or squaring the midheavens. You talking about Jupiter is a planet of luck. These people have good luck with Jupiter placement. Very good luck. Jupiter is all about expansion of the mind, expansion in every aspect of life. These people are very adventurous, very expressive. They love philosophy. They love how you think. They want to hear how you think. They love knowledge. So these people here, and they're very spiritual. They're very spiritual. They feel like they're in touch with the divine. So these people here are very happy, very excited. And when they do something, they do it to the scream. They're very happy, super happy. They hyper like the hyper excited energy right here. So you see a lot of these people, they're cheerful. But now, when you got Jupiter square midheavens or opposing midheaven, which is the opposition to midheavens, you talking about it would be the opposite. Now you got these people who will be like extremely mad, extremely angry, and extremely who don't care about being spiritual. They could be like just don't care. They could be your daredevils. They could be the ones who don't care about nothing, like the devils, like very demonic, very destructive, and also they can struggle with having good luck. They can go through so much where they don't feel they have good luck. You know what I mean? So also they could struggle believing in the divine and having faith in something right here. So right here they can really go through things that deals with expression and really can't express themselves, or they really hate to express themselves because the squares are oppositions here, just the hard aspects. So we got squares of oppositions here. These people really don't like to express themselves like that. They might think that's weak, or they can be the ones who fight all the time because they feel like they got a big bold heart and they feel like they got to prove something. Because this deals with people who can be very popular, so they'll be popular for doing most evil and wickedest things in the world. They can be like one of the most demonic people in the world when you got squares and opposition, what they struggle with or what they're against. So they midheavens could be very dangerous. So once they master this placement, these will be the best peoples in the world. All about excitement, all about joy. And these people, they can really teach you through everything they went through. So this be the best placement because they can overturn it and they can be very clairvoyant and they just know things. And so when we got squares in opposition here, Jupiter squares in opposition to midheaven, they can be your know-it-all. But their careers would consist of helping people, consist of giving, charity, consist of expanding their mind, consist of being the ones who travel a lot, get jobs that deal with traveling, jobs that deals with translating, like Mercury, translating when dealing with communication, deal with socialization, jobs that deals with helping and nurturing and caring. You know, all any jobs, even music, they can get into almost any field because this is a big placement here. This is a placement that deals with talents and gifts, so they have many. They're very super creative, so they get into hair, they get into fashion, they can be models or whatever they choose to be. So that's only when they master this placement right here. Now, because they got a strong intuition, it's deep within them. So now, when you got Saturn, the square or opposing the midheavens, what is Saturn? Saturn loved the midheaven because Saturn is the midheaven because it's the 10th house. So midheavens is always in the 10th house, and Saturn do good right here. But it won't do good when it's opposing its own self. When opposing the midheavens, when Saturn opposing or square to midheavens. So you will go through things that deal with careers. You wonder why it's hard for you to work. It's hard for you to own a business. Why? When you work for others, you might don't want to work for others. Be in bad predicament, bad placement, where you have to work a hard job and you want to get out. You feel like you can't get out. Feel like you trapped. Feel like you somebody puppet, because this is what this placement deals with. Because Saturn deal with career. Saturn is a planet that deal with career, deal with hardship, that deals with working, hard work. It deals with want to master something. So Saturn deals with mastery. It deals with teaching, learn from your experience, your fears. So right here, your fears is your careers. Your fears is what you go through is your careers. You go through a lot that dealing with careers because you want to get that money. You want to expand. Then you might don't even care about money. You could be live the lowest level. So like Mars energy. You can be like an animalistic person who could be very dark, very cold, and be the one who could really destroy something, really kill something, really hurt something on a low and don't care because you cold. You could be very cold hearted. Or if it's not that, you also will lack confidence in your career, lack confidence in your ability to accomplish and to master yourself. And you can be the type who always snapping, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you can be the type who never show your emotions. Definitely. You even worse than the trine or the conjunction, the easy aspects in the conjunction, because this is the square opposition. So we got Saturn here. You either gonna be go to the screen when it comes to your career and do whatever it takes to accomplish your objective and eliminate opponents and oppositions who's in your way, or you might don't be into your career. You might live at the lowest ladder, don't even care about career, don't care about achievement, don't care about status, and you might oppose yourself and talk bad and down on yourself and try to be perfect, and now you got low self-esteem because you be trying to be so perfect like that there. So this is the place where you can really feel like you ain't nothing, you ain't about nothing. Or you can feel like you is about something, want to take over everything and do anything and ruthless to accomplish whatever you're trying to achieve. And right here, since you got the mediumship in you, you can feel a lot that's within your body, all the pain within your body. You go through a lot. You can even like lose a lot of people, and people be sick, and a lot of people die around you because deal with devil transformation, or you can even be a victim of that. So watch out for that right there. So Saturn is square to midheavens or opposing midheavens. This is a great placement once you master this placement. This is one of the best placement there is because these people be very career driven. They can manage and lead groups and organizations and also be great business owners and own corporations once you overcome the square in opposition to midheavens. So now, when we talk about Uranus opposing a square to midheavens, we talking about people who are unique and who just so talented and so skilled, come out with ideas out of nowhere. They all about being original, all about being pure, and they like you to be original. So these people are just different than the norm, and they enjoy who they are. So these like your geniuses from another planet right here. We're talking about Uranus, square or opposing midheavens. So we talk about careers. Their career is gonna be different. They want to do things different. But see, since you got this unique energy right here, that's about change and transformation, about growth, improvement. It's about mastering the mental state. They get downloads from the universe out of nowhere. So these people are very excited people, and they're very friendly and very fun loving. They're very excited and like to experiment And so we're talking about people like this who's creative and come up with ideas out of nowhere, these geniuses' minds. When you got Uranus square to midheavens or opposing midheavens, they have a hard time right here. They have a hard time being friendly. So they can be very blunt, very rebellious against everything. Because you got square and opposition. You got Uranus square opposition to midheavens. So their careers, they get to the point when they don't their careers, they can commit suicide if they don't achieve or accomplish something. Because you got Uranus right here, so they can have mental problems and always changing and having mood swings and can't really trust them because they can't trust themselves and they can feel like they nobody. They can have low self esteem right here. Right here. They can feel like they is like other people. And when the original state is they know that they're different, they know that they got advanced mind, but since you got squares in opposition to midheavens, you got Uranus that's square and opposing midheavens, these people could feel like they just like everybody else. They feel very low on the podium. They can feel like they ain't themselves and they don't want to be in the spotlight. And they don't care about individuals or people because these are natural humanitarians. But when you got squares and they're opposing it, they could not care about people and life and in general and just be wild spirits and just exploring or they can be play a lot of mental games and mind games and beat you because they know that they're smart. They know this and they know that, or they could think they know something when they really don't know things like they think they know. So they are already highly psychic or intuitive because they get information from the universe out of nowhere because they have psychic dreams and all type of stuff. So when you got it square and opposing midheavens, they could be the ones who's more sloppy like because they're usually careful. They usually go get it. They're great planners and very analytical. They could be the type who miss a beat, who miss a point. So as long as they not, and as long as they match this placement, which is squares oppositions, these people could really be the high achievers in life and really go get it and really be your counselors and your therapists and your scientific minds and into astrology, into numerology, into anything that deals with the mind. And they can be very friendly, your humanitarians. So they can get into any occupation. They can master anything once their mind is right, once they balance with this placement right here. Now, when you got like Neptune opposing midheavens, when you got Neptune opposing midheavens or Neptune square to midheavens, what is Neptune? Neptune's a spiritual placement. They're very emotional, super sensitive, and Neptune is more all about put about love, but these individuals usually go with the flow. They usually go with the flow. They usually creative and very expressive and stuff. So the Neptune square or opposing the midheavens, like I say, they go with the flow. They're very creative. They're very sensitive. So we're talking about individuals who love the dream world, the fantasy world, who on a normal basis, say they're in both worlds, so they can be practical too. But they love to be like in the imagination, who love to sleep, love to dream, right here, because this is what this deals with. But these people are super creative when they put their mind to things, because this is their thing. They like beauty, they like art, they like harmony, they like peace, and they don't like to get into the dramatic aspects of life, but they could, and they can on the downside with squares and oppositions to midheavens. They could be opposing this, like when Neptune opposing their careers, they're more into themselves because Neptune is more about helping people and being very giving. But when they with squares in opposition, they can really go through some things. So they go through addiction. So Neptune is like one of the most addictive placement where they be on drugs or they be on alcohol, or they be into sex, overdo it, have sex with anybody. They be on the lowest level where they can be like sleeping out on the corners of the streets and stuff like that. All that there. So this is when you got Neptune square or opposing the midheavens, their careers, their status. So they can be against their status and careers and love how they live. And they could be like bums or homeless and love it. But so once you master this placement right here, they can be some of the greatest people of life, great humanitarians, and yes, because they're like the old soul. So right here, they done been through it all in the past life. So now when they hear, what I'm saying, life seems so hard, they want to escape it. They don't want to be in this world, but they also got the ability to be in this world. So squares get them the struggle, the suffering when dealing with people, seeing people go through it. They pick up on people energy, and they can feel how other people feel and stuff right there, and go through what other people feel because they pick up on other people's emotions. And but also they can be tricked because they so kind. People could trick them to do what they want to do. They can manipulate these people, and so this can make them very harsh and very rude and very critical right here. So when you got Neptune opposing the midheavens, uh, this is like Neptune is against careers. It's against status, so they don't care for that. One thing they care for is to help others and to give and to serve. It's very spiritual. Neptune is very spiritual, so their careers would deal with things that's spiritual and stuff like that. So, yeah, so because Neptune usually is spiritual, so and then on the downside, what's the opposite of spiritual? Not spiritual. It could be like animals, so they could be just like the Mars placement. So you got Neptune that square or opposing midheavens. Once they accomplish this and they get over all that, they go through all their struggles, their pains, and they balance it out. This is when they win. They could be your talented movie directors into the filmmaking and into the arts and into the culture. They could be into anything that's divine, like astrology, numerology, psychic reading. It could be into anything that's helping and healing, anything to do with counseling, getting advice, your massage therapist. So they can be into anything like that once they get over this placement right here. Cause this could be this the best placement to have once they got a balanced mind and they're right. Now, when you got Pluto square or opposing the midheavens, Pluto deal with power. Pluto deal with authority. Pluto deal with emotions too, but it's deal with power. So this is one of the strongest and toughest placements. So they ain't scared of the dark side. They ain't scared of the underworld. These are your freedom. These are not only your freedom fighter, but these are your fighters in general. And they deal with the mind. So not only the mind, but they deal with emotions. So they be the master of emotions. So they ain't scared of the doctor's emotion. They ain't scared of this. They ain't scared of that. But they also deal with sexity. So they know how to have sex. They're the masters of sex. They deal with powers in all forms, all ways, even financially. So Pluto deal with generation power too. So you got Pluto square or opposing midheavens is opposing the careers. And so they want to do what they want to do. Their career is gonna be whatever they say it's gonna be. So you got squares right here. These could be like your obsessive madman killers right here. Cause this placement here, they could be whatever they into. They could be very obsessed right here. It could be into raping people, all type of stuff. So their careers could be. They could use the careers to gain financially or gain in some type of way. It's whatever that they got their mind on. They're gonna gain and manipulate with in their careers, or these people could be the ones who fight against authority all the time. Those who try to rule over them when dealing with careers, or those who try to boss them around because they don't play. But also, they can be the ones who see other people as sexy and all this other stuff, especially like man and female type energy at work, and get into trouble over the sexes or over authority and things like that. Because deal with Pluto square or opposing the midheavens. So when Pluto is opposing midheavens, this is like very tight right here. This is rough right here. These people they can really come back and hurt their bosses, or those who's over them, or those who they work with, who they get into with. And this type of placement this can be. It can be very deadly right here because psychologically they can be the wrong ones to mess with. It's deal with power. So you're talking about Pluto square or opposed to the midheavens, you know what I'm saying? They're very spiritual because it's water energy. So they're very emotional, but they hide their emotional better than others. They're more tough. Like they hold it within, they cool, they calm, but they can just explode. They can explode if they don't have a good job. They explode if they're not in power. And they can be very ruthless when it comes to the objectives. So long as these individuals is balanced, they could be the ones who could be like, some would say your word rulers, because they hold that crown. Like in the public, they can master whatever. So they could be in great leadership positions of all kinds. Your healers, the ones who definitely in the scientific field. They like the truth. They don't like no fakeness. So they like they like discovering the truth. And you can't lie to these people because they can feel your energy. They can feel your pain. They know. Not only clairsentience, they got mediumship ability too, where they can talk to spirit. And so we talking about Pluto opposing or square to midheavens right here. This could be one of the best placement where they can be into anything like your presidents, like your prime minister, like any position that deal with power, even like from the lowest to the highest level, they want to be in authority. As long as they don't make it about themselves, because these people can make it about themselves because that squares in opposition right here. So anybody who against them is a true op, because they don't play right here. It don't matter if they're careers or not. So they're very competitive too on the low. So they could be like your psychiatrist, your mental health counselor, or doctors and stuff like that. So with this being said, now we got to say, no square or opposing in your midheavens. That mean that whatever your life path is, you know it is, it's against your midheavens. So it's against careers. It's all about your destiny. So you could be against or struggle with your midheavens right here, because the life path is connected to your midheavens. It's not trying, but it's square or opposing it. Now, black lithium or Lilith, black Lilith, when it's trying, not trying, but when it's square or opposing the midheavens, you have thoughts about your midheavens. You go very vicious about your midheavens. You be midheaven for the darkest mood. It could be very bad and critical right here if you ain't in balance. If your Lilith ain't in balance with your midheavens. Your Chiron is what you go through, so you can use your Chiron to be your wound healer when dealing with your midheaven right here. So when we talking about like your Chiron, your wound healer, what you go through, it can help you. Once you master going through what you go through with your Chiron, it can help your midheaven. So coming into balance with that, this is how you win right here. So this is very good placement. So now I done gave you all the midheavens placements, the squares and the oppositions and the enemies. Once you come into balance with your enemy self and the ops and your struggles and your pains right here, this is how you win. Now ain't nobody do it better than King Lit. I'm gonna give it to you real. Gets no better than this. Shay.